Alright. So let's see what happens. Where did I stop? Oh, right, yeah. We went on an outing with Mom. So, take your bets. I'm taking your bets here. What do you think? Will they fight or will they get along? Will they continue ignoring the conflict, or will they talk about the conflict in a civilized manner, or will they fight about it? Who knows? I'm curious to see where this leads. I don't even know. I think they will just keep ignoring the conflict. I don't think I've ever been up here. We used to come here all the time. Did we? No, we, as in my friends and I, when we were your age. Oh, okay, I'm not used to you using any other we's. Believe it or not, I've had several we's. Huh. This is nice. Used to be a lot more trees up here. They got cut down when they put in the towers. I don't remember that. You know, all kinds of things happened before you were born. Yeah, I like that that argument when talking about death, you know? Right. All those things that happened to you in the 1700s, do you fear them? No, then maybe don't fear the things that will happen in the 2700s. I'm talking about fearing death, FOMO. It wasn't that bad, the 1700s, for me at least. My experience of the 1700s wasn't that bad at all. Or good for that matter, they just weren't. All kind of things happened before you were born. What? Oh man. I think May was only half kidding with that response. Right? The world kind of revolves around her, doesn't it? Colgatinotab says, maybe you just don't remember. Yeah, and that's... If I don't remember, then that was not the same me, right? Colgatinotab, so... The same thing stands. Right? It wasn't me, it was... Like, if reincarnation is real or whatever, it's not. But if it were, right, and you get reborn, then it doesn't matter because it wasn't me, it was someone else. And that spirit got reborn. And that just know, it still was someone else. It was not part of who I identify as I. Yeah. Some minor parts of history took place, yes. So what is this place? Jenny's Field. Ever heard of it? No, I don't think so. Back in the 30s, there was this woman and her daughter walking here. And the woman's daughter is in front of her. Then she's just gone. Like disappeared. What happened? Fell down into one of the mines. A sinkhole or something like that. Turns out there was a sinkhole that opened up. Yep. When a pillar collapsed in the mines in the hill. Jeez. Yep. No one could see it because of the grass. Her name was Jenny. This is Jenny's Field. I understand why people are not walking around here anymore. Sounds dangerous. This whole town sounds dangerous with all the mining going on beneath it. They never found her. Just gone. So, wait, why are we here? What? You not up for a little risk-taking? Mom wants it to be Macefield. Mom wants to get rid of us. Proper mafia method. Ah! What's wrong? I thought it was a sinkhole thing. How about that? Okay, what is that? For some reason, before Unified pulled out, they brought this old lime furnace up on the mountain. Why? Who knows? Unified did a lot of things. Looks like it's been here forever. It's just sunk into the ground a lot. Like Jenny. But slower. We used to climb up there. Wanna try? Oh, sweetie. I had you and also a lot of birthdays and donuts since then. And not much climbing. I'm the king, I'm the queen of the world. So, good thing this chimney is sealed up here. Yes, good thing. What can you see up there? It's been a while. Possum Springs in most of the valley or the highway. Possum Spring in most of the valleys. What does it look like? A quilt? Like someone jumped out some blocks. A quilt. Well, that's a cozy valley. I remember I couldn't tell if being up there made everything feel bigger or small. Right. I couldn't tell if it made everything feel bigger or smaller. It's a weird feeling. That is a weird feeling. It looks smaller, but it can feel bigger, I suppose. Depending on what you're looking at. Yeah, I know that one. I used to have a dream when I was your age, where I was in the big parking lot out by the tracks. And I'd started running, but there was always more parking lot. What do you think it meant? Don't know. Feels weird to tell what your dreams mean. Tell you what your dreams mean. Why? You're my mom. Fair. Why did we come up here today? Well, I was hoping you'd fall into a sinkhole, obviously, right? That didn't work out. Yet? Oh no, drat. Guess I'll just have to keep you. I couldn't see what your expression was when you said that. Do you need to? No. Well, see you at home. Hey. Colgedinosaps asks, do you define you by your memory? Not only, no. Right, it depends on your definition of identity, right? The continuation of the process. Yeah, I define me. I don't even know if I define myself as the toddler. I guess my parents would define me as me since I was a toddler. So yeah, since birth, that continuous process. The same brain has been walking around, even if it has replaced all the stuff in it. Even if all the cells are new and whatnot, this continuous process that's moving around, that's what I define as me. In a broad sense. And yeah. But my memories are part of it, yeah. Right, you could go the Descartian route and say, well, maybe you're just a brain in a vat. Then, yeah, sure. But I would still then define me as this experience. If I don't have any memories or experiences or anything like that from the 1700s, maybe I was there, I don't know, right? But I'm a pragmatist. So I put borders around the definition of me, I, and say I was not there. It's fairly straightforward. Hello, Bruce. Did we see Bruce in the Harfest? I don't think so. Getting kinda cold, huh? Yeah, nip in the air at night. I like fall when it gets cold. Me too, real pretty out as well. I used to cry at fall trees when I was a kid. Why? Because they were so pretty. Oh, I did that when my daughter was born. You have a daughter? Yep. Where is she? Sorry. It's fine. Colgate Untitled says, how did you come to the conclusion that you were not there? From an amalgamation of things, right? I trust my parents to, like, when they talk about my history that I don't remember, I trust their judgment, right? Saying that I was born in 87, and from that I draw the conclusion, together with all my memories, right? And my knowledge of how the world works, right? You get born, you work, you die. That's the cycle, right? There's nothing else magical or fantastical that happens in this world. That's how I come to that conclusion. Is this Greg? Hey, Jen. Oh, no, it's not Greg. Hey, Jen. Hey, May Borowski? Yeah. What are you doing back here? Does Greg know you're back? Oh, that's why she looked like Greg, eh? Nah, just here for a day. Had to pick some stuff up from Greg's mom? Okay. Hauling back to school tonight. Ah. Didn't you go to school? What are you doing here? Dropped out, kinda. Same as you, just back for a day. Dropped out, kinda. Oh, sorry to hear that. Whatever. What are you going for? I want to do fashion design. Is that a job you can get? Theoretically. You still go crossbow hunting? Greg used to have a crossbow too, I think. Yeah, I still hunt rabbits and stuff. Nothing big. Don't get much chance at school. I was shooting at that tree over there. Then I noticed there was a dude sleeping behind it. So I stopped. Oh yeah, that's Bruce. He's nice. Well, I'm just glad I didn't accidentally put a bolt in his face. Oh yeah, that'd be bad. Well, it was nice seeing you. You still see Greg sometimes? Oh yeah, all the time. Well, tell that cousin of mine he needs to come see me out in Bright Harbor. Oh, yeah, will do. He's not leaving here. Oh, I don't know. I think he should. Guy's gotta spread his wings. Wait. Did May just say that Greg is not leaving? Didn't Greg tell us that they are moving out to that same area? Harbor, whatever. I'm pretty sure. Colgate Innotab says, didn't I hype to you about calculus in the early 1700s? That was a vague statement, Colgate in Tap. Did you vague about the calculus that was discovered? Invented in the 1700s. Right, we can talk about the stuff that happened, right? We can talk, but that's history, right? It's in the past. It was not part of our autobiographical memory, and that's what I'm thinking about. Late 1600s. Yeah. Right, there's a distinction between autobiographical memory and what the fuck is that called? Semantic memory? No. Yeah, semantic memory, I think it's called. Right? Your autobiographical memory is memories of experiences, but then you can remember that some fact about Newton, right? That's not part of your autobiography. Maybe you might have an autobiographical memory of you learning about Newton in school or whatnot. Maybe, but probably not. Autobiographical memory on that part. Right? So you can remember the semantic memories about Newton, but not remembering when you learnt it, right? Two very different type of memories. Colgate Untitled says, but our discussion happened in exactly 1700s, right? Nope, they did not. They did not. Guy's gotta spread his wings. Maybe his wings are just fine here. Nah, Greg's too much for this town. He is. No argument there. See ya. Take it easy. Why... Greg's cousin, okay? Why did we lie to Jen about that? Maybe it's not our place to talk to Jen about it? I don't know. Okay, Dinotap says 750, I think. You said that Leibniz didn't plagiarize Newton as his monads weren't like that. Maybe I misremembered something. Maybe you're making stuff up, Colgate on Tap. Just maybe. Maybe you're making stuff up. Who knows, though? Yeah. That's the most plausible. Well, maybe you misremembered something, but it's more plausible you just making that stuff up. Yep. Way more plausible. That's it, when you cry wolf, right? Did I? Don't remember talking to the pastor. Where's... Oh, right, the pastor isn't here today. Mom is here, though. No more talking to Mom. Colgatinotab says, more plausible that you just don't remember. Nope. That's not it at all. Have you heard about this beautiful thing called Occam's Razor, Colgatinotab? If every person so far I've ever spoken to has not lived to be over 200 years old. So you and me being over 200 years old would need way more evidence for me to get behind that statement at all. Oh, wait. Actually, let's go down first. Let's steal some stuff. Let's steal some stuff. Well, more plausible to you, perhaps. If you have those memories, if you live in a different universe than me, a fantastical universe where people live hundreds of years. But from my point of view, right, that's not the world I live in. So that's an extraordinary claim, and therefore you need extraordinary evidence to convince me of it. And just your anecdotal memory is not enough to convince me that what you're saying is true. Methinks I spy a tunnel shark. Scary monster in the dark. Holy crap. I didn't really see it. Please don't listen. Wait, what? No stealing pretzels today. Why not? Why aren't we stealing any pretzels? Whoa. Hi down there. Ahoy there, May. Is that Mr. Salvi? What are you doing in a boat? In the tunnel? In the late afternoon? What are you doing home from school? You answer first. I guess I kinda dropped out. Oh dear, May. Yeah, sorry. Why are you apologizing to me? I don't know. So what are you even doing down here? It's my side hustle. Salvi's Salvage. Nice. Colgate Untitled says, I wouldn't call that razor beautiful. It doesn't work in math. So stuff cannot be beautiful if it doesn't work in math, eh? That seems like Oh! I see a pentagram. That's narrow-minded, right? I can find beauty in many things. Sunsets doesn't work in math. They're beautiful anyway. Do you see the pentagram? I see it. What's that? I'm a junk man, May. Are you not moving lawns anymore? Oh no, I'm still doing the landscaping. But I'm also a purveyor of fine goods. For the discerning antique enthusiast. Okay, side hustle, yeah. Wanna come along? Boat ride back into the tunnel. Yes. Gonna be a short trip today, but might be fun? Sure. Or, no. Sure. Just follow this. Colgate Untitled says, I find beauty too. Razor is not one of them. Occam's razor is not one of them. Alright. That's fine. We don't have to find the same thing beautiful, I suppose. This probably isn't smart. It's pretty safe. Pretty safe. I just need a second pair of hands. Usually I take one of the kids over there. Hey teens, I'm going on this boat now. Just saying, like, if anyone should ask, I got on this boat with Mr. Salvi here. Okay, thanks. What was... Okay, let's go. Wait. That was all good. Blasphemous. Wrong cider. Sunset geometry. I mean, you can explain the sunset with maths. Right? But the beauty of the sunset is when I look at the sunset and I see the beauty, I don't see the math. Right? My qualia and my experience does not work in math, blasphemous. But sure, there are math, like you can explain a lot of bits in the world about math, right? Sunset geometry. Beautiful series of articles and talks about the method for finding the radius of Earth based on a single... I mean, this is something completely different than what I was talking about, right? Completely different. Colgate Untitled says, or do I? Can't think of anything that is not math related now. I mean, like, do a painting or music, does your value judgment of beauty come from the math? And I mean, that's fine if it does, right? If you look at a beautiful woman, is it the curvatures and you look at, right? Is it the same as looking at a beautiful woman as looking at beautiful mathematical curves? Is it the same or is it different, Colgate on tap? If it is different, then math is not everything, right? You can relate it to math, just like Blasphemous could relate it to sunset geometry, right? But that's not my experience. My experience what is not a mathematical one. But if it is for you, that's all fine, right? We're all different. We're all individuals. Blasphemy says, yes, so Colgate can find beauty in the sunset by using math that way. Yeah, of course he can. Blasphemy says, math is everywhere. You can apply math to everything. Right, Blasphemous? Math is not everywhere. You can apply it to everything. Right? If there is no human around to look at a tree falling, there is no math happening. Right? Math is an abstract idea that happens in the mind. If there's no human around, then there is no math there. Right? Colgate in on tap says, haven't seen any beautiful women so far. Alright, beautiful men then, I suppose. Blasphemous says, mathematical beauty. Yeah, there's like... I know that there is this idea of... They talk about elegance in math, right? Mathematical beauty is the aesthetic pleasure typically derived from abstractness, purity, simplicity, depth, or orderliness of mathematics. Yeah. Right, and this is not right. I'm not a mathematician, so I don't find. Maybe I can find some math beautiful, but right, that's not my area of expertise. So I can instead find my aesthetic pleasure derived from the abstractness and purity and the simplicity of Occam's razor, right? I can do that. Right. But, like Colgate Innotab says, Occam's razor is not math. So I can find similar beauty in Occam's razor. That's philosophical beauty. Oh. Or it's just subjective beauty. Yeah. Oh, Blasphemous links something else as well. Let's check it out. Oh, the golden ratio, yeah. I've heard people thinking that's beautiful. And I mean, people find that elegant and beautiful, right? I mean, it's pretty enough. The spiral. I find spirals pretty, I suppose. But it's not my right. I find Occam's razor to be more beautiful, like aesthetically pleasing to me. Colgate in on tap says, I haven't seen them either. Wait, what haven't you seen? No beautiful men, no beautiful women. All right. Then maybe it's only math for you, and that's fine. And then it says, if I used occult razor... Wait, what's an occult razor? Occam's razor. I would even say that there are no beautiful people, but I think that there could be. I just have not seen any yet. Yeah, right? Occam's razor, right? Well, I would say that the Occam's razor is that maybe not there are no beautiful people. Maybe you don't find people beautiful. You could find someone, but that makes sense, right? From Occam's razors, then. Oh, I cannot relate to that. I've seen plenty of beautiful people that I find beautiful. Yeah. All right. Anyone can find anything beautiful, I suppose. Blasphemous. Neslab's Occam's razor. What does Neslab have to say about Occam's razor? that Wikipedia don't have. The Occam's razor fallacy. The simplest solution is not always the correct one. Yeah? I can see people making that fallacy, right? Yeah? When faced with two equally credible theories, wisdom seems to indicate you should go for the simplest one. Yeah, that's Occam's razor. If you don't know, if you have to make an assumption, then you assume the simplest one. That's Occam's razor. It's an attitude, right? Simpler solutions are easier to verify. Yeah? They're easier to execute, yeah. But while mental models are a great way to make sense of the world, not all of them should be followed blindly. Yeah, it's not a dogma, right? Like, it's just an attitude, right? It's not a rule. It doesn't, Occam's razor doesn't state that the simplest solution is the correct one. That's not Occam's razor. And people thinking that way, I would say, yeah, following that blindly is a mistake. I would agree with that. In fact, some should be studied in order to avoid them. Oh, I would go with that as well. Like, if there are two proposed solutions and we don't know which one is the true, you assume the simpler one, but making the assumption in the first place is something to be avoided. That's what Occam's razor is all about, right? Try to avoid making assumptions. So yeah, study both proposed explanations for sure. Yeah. In fact, some should, fact and should here. I don't like that, but I agree with the opinion. It's not a fact, it's an opinion that they should be studied to avoid. Avoid mental models? I don't know. Yeah, I would study both proposed both proposed explanations I would study, but I would study the simplest one first, because study that first. Take your priority there. If it doesn't work out, then go the other one. Or we can spread out and you do that and I do this. Colgate Unotap says, a few days ago I didn't know about people with 3 dicks. Me neither. Blasphemous says, I wish I was born that way. Wait, with 3 dicks? I mean, I try to be happy with what I have. I assume that you could have a lot of fun with 3 dicks. Yeah, I assume. 3 dicks. I don't know, though. Colgate Innotap says, that doesn't work. Kolmogorov complexity is not uncomputable. I have no idea what that means. Blasphemous says, yes. The 3 dicks thing? Right, while Occam's razor is a popular mental model, I think it falls into the category of the ones that should be used with extreme caution, because simpler explanations are not necessarily correct. Yeah, I think this I don't agree with how this person and their definition of Occam's razor and how it's used. Occam's razor. The principle of parsimony, or law of parsimony. This is new. Someone has changed it. It is the problem-solving principle that entities should not be multiplied without necessity. Yeah, entities should not be multiplied without necessity. Or more simply, the simplest explanation is usually the right one. The idea is attributed to Occam who used a preference for simplicity to defend the idea of divine miracles. This philosophical racer advocates that when presented with competing hypotheses, like two of them, about the same prediction, one should select the solution with the fewest assumptions. There we go. Fewest assumptions. Avoid making assumptions. That is what we do, right? It's an argument. Right? The methodology is to do the one with the fewest assumption. And there is an argument that the simplest explanation is usually the right one. Probably. I wouldn't know about this, but probably. But what I like, I don't care if this is right or not. I like this bit. This is what I like. Right? They've stuck on this part, and I agree with them on that point, right? Just thinking that, oh, this is the simplest explanation, therefore it is true. Making that, I would agree with them, would be a logical fallacy, like they're saying. But what is that? This here, oh, the simplest explanation has to be true. That is an assumption. And the whole methodology, in my mind, with Occam's razor, is try to do as few assumptions as you possibly can. Let's see, and that is not meant to be a way of choosing between hypotheses, right? It's not meant to be a way of choosing between them. It's just an attitude, a methodology. Try to avoid making assumptions, because assumptions are usually wrong, right? So yeah, I completely agree with this. Simpler explanations are not necessarily correct. Yeah. And this model that they are talking about, I agree. Don't use that model. See. Colgatinotap says, so it is undecidable which solution is simpler. No, the solution that is the simpler one is the one that requires less assumptions. One that requires less assumptions are the simpler. But as you say, it doesn't work on maths. And you trying to force it to work on maths is... Right? You're talking math. And you said yourself, Occam's razor is not a maths thing. So just giving maths or algorithmic information theory, computer science and mathematics, I don't see the relevancy. You yourself said that this is not relevant. So why would you try to force it in here? I don't understand, Colgatinotap. Lasmus says, someone has changed the meaning of Occam's razor? Did they get permission? Oh, no, they didn't change the meaning of Occam's razor. Just someone has been in here and editing it. They didn't probably change the meaning. Or it was just so long ago I read this that I don't remember. Like, I have a terrible memory. But I don't remember this part, right? I don't remember reading this. And I probably have before, right? Probably have. Lasman says, I wonder if I'm becoming asexual. Can you become asexual? You become less sexually driven with age. Right? Yeah, like teenagers are super fucking horny and it's all about the sex, right? It's all about getting laid. That's a majority. But the older you get, the more you leave that behind, right? I don't know if I would call that becoming asexual. I don't want to put words in your mouth or your experience, though. Maybe you always were asexual. Maybe you're just learning about yourself. Lasmus says, maybe you can make it mathematical for Colgate. Oh yeah, mathematical. Fewest assumptions. There we go. You have an explanation that has 3 assumptions. You have an explanation that has 2 assumptions. You take the one with lesser. That's mathematical. Right? That's a number equation, no? Colgate-Dinotap says that the cogmoral complexity is relevant for the racer even if it's not the other way around. Is it? Alright. Okay, I clicked it away. I love these. The Kolmogorov complexity of an object such as a piece of text. Oh, a piece of text. Wait. In algorithmic information theory, a subfield of computer science and mathematics, the complexity of an object, such as a piece of text, all right, is the length of a shortest computer program in predetermined programming languages that produces the object as output. I don't understand that. I don't understand it at all. The complexity is the length of the shortest computer program that produces. Oh, so it's like I'm terrible with name. Plato's idea world, right? The perfect idea. So this is a hypothetical computer program where you use the shortest amount of letters to produce the wanted output, right? It's the suckless philosophy, right? The suckless philosophy is to reduce the they want to find the text with the shortest programming. It is a measure of the computational resources needed to specify the object. It is also known as an algorithmic complexity. Right? Don't do a lot of extra stuff, right? Just do the minimum thing. So yeah, it is relevant to Occam's razor. Sure, it's similar to Occam's razor, I suppose. You can use it as a metaphor. Lasman says, okay, good. Now everything is math again. Wait, what do you mean? Maybe I just don't find the current trends to be attractive. Wait, I'm confused, Blasphemous. Asexuality is not finding the current trends attractive. How do you... I don't understand how your mind works in that point, right? Current trends as attractive? I mean, there are people not following trends. Right? So you could find people not following whatever trend and find them attractive, right? And I don't know if you find a trend attractive. I find people attractive, not trends. Well, I suppose I can find trends attractive as well, but I wouldn't want to date a trend. I would want to date an individual. Colgate-Dinotap says it basically measures simplicity. Oh, it measures simplicity. Then I would assume that Occam's razor is another definition of simplicity. So it's not relevant for Occam's razor. Occam's razor makes another definition of simplicity than this one. Right? It's not a... Yeah. Occam's razor just count, like Occam's razor is another definition of simplicity. Simplicity from Occam's razor is fewest amount of assumptions. So it's a different definition. So it's not relevant for Occam's razor then. It's a different definition. And using this definition rather than this definition would be a straw man, right? It's like this could be considered a straw man. But, right? Because just saying that the Occam's razor fallacy, right? This fallacy I agree with, but that doesn't, right? In my mind, this is not an argument against Occam's razor. It's an argument against this model that they present here, the mental model that they present. They argue against, and that's fine. But it's not Occam's razor they are arguing against. Not in my mind, not in my interpretation. Just like this is not relevant for my interpretation of Occam's razor. Blasphemous says, is D-Menu more suckless than Rofi? I have no idea. I would assume, Blasphemous, since D-Menu is made by the suckless guys, I'm assuming D-Menu is more suckless than Rofi, but I don't know. I have not looked into it. But I would assume. Otherwise that would be embarrassing to the suckless guys, right? Colgate Inotap says, and Kolmogorod complexity is uncomputable. Alright. Blasphemous says, no, I am saying maybe I am not asexual and now I get it, Blasphemous. No, I'm saying maybe I'm not asexual and I just don't find the current trends to be attractive, right? Maybe you've just been in context where you don't find the people in those contexts to be attractive. It's similar to what Colgate Inotap said, right? That you don't find, so you find a lot of people and behaving in manners that are not attractive to you. I get it. The trend's not attractive. I get it. Plasma says, try joining a dating site. You'll see what I mean, Kappa. Oh, yeah, right. That's why I don't join a dating site. Because... Actually, maybe I should. Well, I'm not interested in getting a girlfriend, but when I am, maybe I should. Just to try it out, right? Just rather than just... Because I've lived with the assumption that, I'm not gonna be attracted to anyone joining these sites. But that's an assumption. I haven't tried it out yet. Right? So maybe I should try joining a dating site. I'm assuming that I'll come to a similar idea like you, right? Not finding anyone for me on those dating sites. But I don't know, so trying it is a good idea. Should try it indeed. Colgate Inotap says, but you can have any statement use only one assumption if you assume it to be true. But you can have any statement use only one assumption if you assume it to be true. I don't understand how you mean Colgate Inotap. The example I used to do to conceptualize my idea of Occam's razor is, we go out in the forest, we find a tree that has fallen down. You proposed the explanation. There was a storm like a week ago, and that blew it down. I proposed the explanation. There was an alien spaceship that crashed into this tree and made it fall. My proposed explanation takes way more assumptions than yours do, right? Colgate Inotap. I need to assume that aliens exist. I need to assume they have spaceships, that they travel to Earth, that they hit this, right? There's way more assumptions in that single statement, no? Blasphemous says, I'd suggest looking elsewhere. Yeah, that's... Right, I haven't really thought out a plan because I'm not interested at the moment, right? But my assumption would be that I would look elsewhere. But maybe try it out. I've never been to a dating site. Not really. I don't know how it's different from other social media. I've seen some people memeing from... what's that called? The swipey thing. Yeah, I've seen the memes about the swipey thing. That does not interest me. Like, just seeing a picture does not interest me, right? I'm interested in people. I would want to, like, have someone write a full, like, introduction to me or whatever. I would want to know about the person, just an image, and I wouldn't be interested in dating someone who would just make that value judgment based on an image either, for that matter. I can see the relevancy of an image, but that's not enough for me, and that's not a deal breaker for me either. Right? I wouldn't want to date anyone that has that as a deal breaker. And if you say that that is the trend, I would probably not. Well, I could probably get attracted to a person like that, but I would not want to date them. I could get attracted to other traits, but that's an unattractive trait to me. Last me say, they used to be much better. The dating sites? Colgate says, you can join a dating site with the intent of getting familiar with the concept. You don't need to have getting a girlfriend as a goal. Well, if I'm not looking into getting a date, I won't be joining a dating site. I get your point, Colgate but me personally, I wouldn't. If I feel like I want to start dating, then maybe I'll join a dating site. Otherwise, I wouldn't. Last one says, yeah, Tinder. Tinder is the swiping thing. It's a good example of just how bad dating sites have become. Well, I don't agree with that statement. Photos with plenty of filters, he continues, to make them look more attractive than they are, and witty pickup lines. Yeah, I don't agree that. I think Tinder is so successful because it is successful. It's good at what it's doing, right? It's good for most people. It's not good for me and you, Blasphemous, right? It's good for most people, but not you and me. So, right? If a lot of people didn't get what they wanted out of it, then Tinder wouldn't be such a big deal. So I wouldn't say it's a bad. I would say it's a site that successfully manages to do what it sets out to do. And people use it as an efficient tool to do those things. Right? I wouldn't say that's bad at all. It's just, it's not for me. That's what I would say. It's not for me. Like it's not for you. But it's for a lot of people. A lot of people gets use out of it. Therefore, yeah. You see my point, right? Colgate on Tap says, you don't do stuff just out of curiosity. Sure. But I don't do all the things. It's like I don't read the Quran. I'm curious about ethics and morality and stuff like that, but I have not read the Quran. I'm more interested in reading Crime and Punishment, Colgate on Tap. Right? I have a limited amount of time and curiosity, like time to spend on my curiosity. And I would, right, Colgate on Tap. So if I'm in the future, I'm gonna start looking for a girlfriend, then I am curious about Tinder and I might try it out. But before that, I see no reason. I have other stuff that I can be curious about. Colgate Time says, also, if you assume aliens exist, you don't need to assume they have spaceships. Yes, I do. Right? If my proposed explanation is that the alien spaceship hit the tree, if I assume aliens exist, like I can assume that there's life on Mars, I can assume that there's life on like all the different planets, and those would be considered aliens. But for them to travel here, they would have to have spaceships. They have the mode of transportation. That's two different assumptions. I don't think they are necessary at all. But even if they were, it would be a consequence, not an assumption. Now, those are all assumptions in my proposed explanation of why the tree fell. Right? We compare two different explanations of why the tree fell. One just requires weather, and that's knowledge that we have about how weather can blow trees down and wind. So that's not as many assumptions. While all those other statements about the world, like there are individual statements that all have to be true for an alien spaceship to hit down the tree. And those are assumptions. I don't know. We don't know. We haven't found any evidence for life outside of our planet yet. So any statement about aliens would contain a lot of assumptions. A lot of assumptions. Blasphemous says, yeah, not good for anyone looking to search for people in a non-superficial ways. Exactly. There probably are dating sites like that as well, I guess, Blasphemous. It's just not the most popular ones, because most people don't... Like, the majority of people are fine with starting out with the superficial way. Right? Most people are fine with that. That's the trend, right? But I'm assuming there are dating sites for that other way around as well. I'm just assuming. I have no idea. I haven't looked into it. Colgatinotep says, you can just assume that alien spaceship hit tree is one assumption. Yeah, and it's based on the premise, right? That assumption requires that aliens exist. That assumption requires that spaceship exists. That assumption requires that those spaceships are able to follow the trees, right? That assumption, it's not a standalone statement, right? The alien spaceship does not exist without aliens that are capable of building spaceships, right? You cannot get from one point to the other. That's rationality for you. Blasphemous says, you'd be surprised how many people treat dating sites as social media now. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be surprised now. Those are consequences of that assumption. Yeah, and those consequences are of that assumption. In my definition of Occam's razor, those are assumptions. Right? There exist aliens. That is an assumption. Right? You can say call them consequences if you like. I can call them assumptions, right? Stand alone, that is also an assumption. But I really have to go. It's a very interesting discussion. If you want to continue it, I'm looking forward to do that tomorrow, but I'm in a hurry now. Yes, I am in a hurry indeed. Alright. Blasphemous says, Cider, why does your WeChat disconnect you every few minutes? Wait, what? Do I get disconnected every few minutes? I don't have time to look into that. I did not know. I have not noticed that at all. Do I miss chat? Maybe I just missed reading something. It says you left and rejoined. I don't know, Blasphemous. That's frustrating for you, I guess. I have no idea, and I don't have time. I really don't have time. So see you next time. Cheers.